Well, first of all, before we start, I just want to give our thoughts and our prayers to Lexi Fleming. She's a terrific talent, and, you never like to see anything like that happen, especially as early, 1 minute into the game. And so, I really feel for Fred and his team and his staff, and certainly her, not knowing anything definite, but the fact that she couldn't get back in. I think it shook all of us for a minute. We had to all get our bearings, just because she looked like she was in a tremendous amount of pain. So, for us tonight, obviously, I thought Sarah Skaa was super. She was special. Yes, she scored the ball great, but I thought she was really good defensively. So as well as she shot it from beyond the arc, I thought she was as good defensively with how she was focused and determined and did a great job. And I thought for us tonight, really, really proud of the way we guarded. We really looked like a tough, gritty team tonight, that's what I've been wanting to see. And we've seen moments, but I want more consistency in looking like that defensively. Especially with Big Ten play starting. So, good night for us. You're always worried about these games right before Christmas, being trap games, but I thought our kids were dialed in and focused, and really looking forward to getting on the floor tonight and competing in our final non-conference game.
Teri, you talked about the team's defense just now, and that's something you've really been harping on throughout a lot of the beginning of this season. What do you feel like has allowed your team to really turn the corner in that sense?
Well, again, I thought there was, Seth, I thought there was just great focus. We're watching Bo and we're watching Jules grow right before our eyes, right? And that's been such a great thing for us. But Sarah and Sid and Mac and Chloe, I thought Chloe got her hands on a lot of balls tonight. She was very active. Lexi, the same. I thought she was terrific defensively. I think that, going into this game, as I told them right before we left, defense will win you this game tonight, and our defense has to show up. And, so some of it was that, but they just, they had a terrific focus tonight, particularly on that end.
Kind of mentioned this, but obviously Sarah had the big game, but Chloe made a lot of plays on both ends.
Yeah.
Looked really comfortable on offense, went after the ball on defense. What have you seen from her just tonight and also just so far this season?
Well, Chloe's had great moments. She runs our team, but, I've said this to her on the sideline, and I'll continue to say it to Chloe. I mean, she needs to be aggressive offensively for us. She needs to be a scorer. When I say scorer, she needs to be able to be a double-digit scorer for us night in and night out. And she's more than capable of that with her ability, because she's quick, she's long. She can play at 3 levels. She can get to the rim. She has a nice pull-up game. She certainly can hit threes. I just don't think that she looks enough to score the way I'd like her to. And, we got great scorers on the floor, and I think she would tell you that she's a point guard. She's thinking like a point guard. But there are moments, especially on the open floor, where I want her to be more aggressive.
Teri, all last year you were talking about how good the Big Ten was. Mm-hmm. And, in fact, I remember distinctly one week in the poll, there were 6 Big Ten teams in the top 19. Looking at the poll week in and week out this year, it seems there are even more good teams nationally that have only lost like 1 or 0 games to date. Does it seem even tougher out there this year?
Oh, there's no question. Yeah. I think, the parity, the early losses, that some of the, when the poll first came out, right, some of the upsets, which I always laugh early on, maybe in the minds of the people that get a vote for those, that there's upsets, based on a number on a sheet. But, Again, our game has gotten better. Our game continues to improve, not just individually, but teams, coaching, all of it. It's so great, and what a privilege it is to be a part of this game right now, at the height of, not just people being interested in it, but also, we're seeing fantastic teams, high level of play, and that's good for us, good for us and our game. Many years ago, Lou, you know this because you're older. There was just one or two teams that consistently were in the Final Four. You could pin it in. I think we've grown, and this game has gotten so great that I don't know that going into this season anybody can pin anybody into what the Final Four may look like.
Yeah, Teri, is it important to have a game? Mackenzie, usually fills up the stat sheet. She's a little off night, maybe shooting, but when you can kind of pick her up and just dominate a team, not even just beat a team, but offensively with your other option, is that
Yeah.
sort of important to just have a proof of concept for maybe to lean on later this season?
Yeah. I mean, it's important, but she hits her 7 free throws, and she has 17 points, right? And so, she's 3 for 6. Of course, struggled. 5 turnovers. Mac is overthinking a little bit too much right now. We got to get Mac just to relax and allow the game to come to her. And but it is good that you have other guys that can come in and deliver both offensively and defensively for us. But I'd certainly feel better if Mac had maybe not a night. Well, of course, everybody'd like to have a night like Sarah had, but you know what I mean? But got her normal, average, looked clean, looked easy for her, allowed the game to come to her. And tonight, I thought and even in Evansville a little bit, she's pressing a little bit. Yeah, I think she expects that double to come. And it probably will come a lot in the Big Ten, but there's moments where if it doesn't come, you just make a decision and make a move. And she gets herself in a predicament because she allows she holds on to it so long. She allows other defenders to come in there and get involved. Yeah, because I thought, and I'm dating back to the main game, if there was anybody I was more worried about was Mackenzie in that game, and I thought she handled herself, in a great way. It's just been, since we've been back, I felt like she's been sped up a little bit. She needs to take a chapter out of Yarden's book, right, and just don't let anybody speed you up. She's uber talented. We need her. She's had a great career, and I want her to, go into this final Big Ten season and into hopefully March Madness, and be playing at such a high level because she has given us so much, here. And been so instrumental in the things that we've been able to build here. I don't know if it's pressure right now, if she's overthinking, but, maybe the break has come at a good time, that she can just relax, come back, hit the reset button, and not feel so sped up.
Teri, the game against Minnesota in 2022, I think it was, when Sarah came in here and played really well. She had 7 threes that
She
night.
did.
She had 8 tonight. Just,
Yeah,
what's it
she
like
was-
for you to watch her shoot the ball like that?
Well, again, that's why I never panic, when, she may have what's considered an off night. But, it was fun to watch. And I'm just happy and proud of her because nobody is in the gym and works more and has gotten not just thousands, millions and millions of those shots that she works on daily, outside of practice, before practice. And so, it's kind of cool to be over there on the sideline and be able to enjoy it.
Teri, from the outside looking in, I mean, it looks like smooth sailing. The offense has been very productive, especially the last 2 games. The defense hasn't given up more than 41% since the Stanford game. Is it as smooth? Does it feel you're healthy? I mean, does it, when you're looking at the long view of the team and as you go into the Big Ten,
Yeah.
does it feel as smooth as it would be from our perspective looking in?
Yeah, no, not at all. I felt like going into the second half tonight, I said to them, I thought I was so proud of what we looked like defensively. And so, first and foremost, that was the beginning of the conversation. But but the other thing I was a little bit upset with was they were out rebounding us in the first half by 2, and so we felt like that was not acceptable. We needed to change that. But I wanted us to look more cleaner offensively. The turnovers that McKenzie had, and the rest of them, Yarden has 2, and one of those is a charge. But I felt like we could still look a lot cleaner, be a little bit more efficient, get some better shots, move the ball, have great pace, and I didn't think we did that in the first half. I'm not so sure we did it in the second half. I think we all were just enjoying watching Sarah Skaa shoot a bunch of threes, right? And they went in. But yeah, I want a balance, Todd. I mean, I want an inside-outside attack. I want us to be able to put that thing into Mac and feel good about the decisions, whether she looks to score, whether she facilitates. She needs to not lead us in turnovers as a 5-man. Evansville and tonight, but things are going to change. We're going to go into Big Ten play, and the target is clearly on our back still, and we'll continue to get everybody's best. And so Illinois will come in here. I think they got a tough loss down I think they're in Florida, maybe a buzzer beater. And so just like last year, when we open up a Big Ten play, it's not going to be easy. This is a great league. Everybody from the bottom has improved and gotten better, and so night in and night out, we have to have better balance. I think on the stat sheet looking, and we need more kids, whether it's Yarden, to be more consistent. The way she was special against Evansville. We need her to be like that night in and night out because she's capable. We need Chloe to be more aggressive. I believe. I want her to be. Sid's hadn't been shooting it great, but Sid is a great shooter. And so, I think we just got to continue to try to, improve and work on the things and polish them up, offensively and defensively. But we're going to win games on the defensive side. And tonight I thought was a really good indicator of what we were capable of. We were capable. We did that in Florida against Tennessee. We were gritty. We were tough. I thought we were focused. I felt good about us going into that game, very similar to the way I felt good about us going into tonight's game with what we were going to be able to do defensively. And they rose to the occasion. So, but still a long season ahead.